So my last video was about Harvey Weinstein, the Me Too hashtag. I tried in a couple of videos in a very roundabout way to tell one of my stories. It was a story that profoundly impacted me when I was very young about my own experience with sexual harassment, and it just didn't end up sounding really, it was just too broken, and the explanation didn't really hold water when you really listen to the whole thing. Because what it was about more than anything was about being in a place where I felt like the critique of my body and the way that I was treated was basically, it's really so hard to describe it because it happens so often to so many women that we get desensitized to it. I mean, pretty much every time I step out the door, I hear some of the same tired cliches, some of the same tired lines all the time. An example I gave in one of my blog posts was something very, very difficult for me to endure. I had just recently been to court. I had permanently lost my rights to my daughter. And while I was walking out of the courtroom, I was despondent because I was heartbroken. And someone who didn't know me looked at me, and I'm sure to him, he was trying to brighten my day. But he told me, a pretty girl like you should never frown. And it really upset me. I launched into a tirade and I told him, you have no idea what I've been through today. My heart is completely broken. I feel like I have nothing left to live for. And the last thing on my mind right now is whether or not anyone thinks I'm pretty. I literally don't care about that. All I care about is the fact that I may never see my little girl again. I don't even know how to describe it, but I love my daughter so much, and I don't get to see her anymore. I know where she is, and I'm not welcome there. And it hurts because the most important aspect of my life is my relationships to the people in it, especially my family and my children. And those who know me very well know that I'm a very family-oriented person, and that I did the best that I could to be the best mother that I could be. But I was kind of berated, drug over the coals with all three of my kids. I wasn't really given a chance to be a parent. It was pretty clear from the beginning that due to my missing limb and my history of psychiatric disorders, those in power perceived me as a less than capable parent. And no matter how hard I tried to show them to the contrary, that was the story they ran with because it was the one that fit their preconceived notions of me. Even when I read with my son, they chose to filter my playing around with my little boy, pretending to growl as he bit a book, as if I was actually angry toward my son rather than the fact that I was just playing around with him. Everything that I did and said got twisted to mean something other than what it was. And it was just so hard to even hang on to hope during any of that. And I don't know how the family rights and the Me Too thing kind of got intertwined in this story or in this narrative, but that's the thing, is it's been, I think, about 5 years since this day happened. And still, sometimes, when I'm in a public place amongst people that I don't know, I get so much feedback to the point of it seems like people wanting me to talk when I don't really know them. And it's hardly ever a woman who seems to be so aggressive in their pursuit of just getting a hello out of me or a smile out of me. And it irritates me because I'm the kind of person that my emotions are very genuine. I smile when I feel like smiling. I cry when I feel like crying. I am known for kind of being a little bit dramatic. But the thing of it is it's not meant as drama. I literally ride the wave of my emotions until I no longer feel a certain way. So somebody telling me to smile, even when I'm in a public place, when I don't know them, is like being told that I have to feel a certain way. And even though it is definitely not the most extreme form of harassment, it begins with the being invalidated as a person and being told that I have to react the way others want me to and that I have to behave the way others want me to. And to me, that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is this notion that life is a game that we all play, and that if we don't play by the rules, we'll get punished. And I don't like that. I don't like the idea that unless I live up to someone else's expectations, I don't have the right to be treated like a person and I can be blackballed from getting a job or keeping a job, or the notion that, oh, well, powerful men have been having sex with women as a means to gain advantage for years. Just because it's been happening for a long time doesn't make it okay. And this idea that part of being an actor, if you're female, means that you have to drop your clothes is something that needs to be scrapped. It needs to be done away with because the entertainment industry really wouldn't survive without the female half of the population. You could go back to the days when all the actors were men, like during Shakespearean times, but I don't think most people would find that favorable.